Hey, RetconRaider here. Before we get started, I'd just like to thank the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Anerdinwarpaint, Antonio Hernandez, Matthew Holmquist, Nathan Welch Jr., and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3, as we move beyond the safety net of my admittedly brief test campaigns and delve into the unknown. Though, in this case, I suppose the unknown is a small settlement of tieflings and adventurers whose lives we've just saved, so, all things considered, that's actually a pretty ideal unknown to delve into. Anyway, this is basically our first quest hub, so I imagine we have a lot of talking ahead of us. Let's get to it.
There are children here, you fool!
We was running for our lives.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
Stop squealing like hatchlings, or settle this matter in blood.
What chewed you up and spit you out?
Show some respect. This man saved your pathetic life.
Well, I didn't ask for any goddamn help.
Please, you were begging me to open the gate. Anything to save yourself, you coward!
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
Oh my. Okay. If you want me to take both of you down, I will. Otherwise, knock it off.
And who the hell are you again?
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
Oh, that worked out.
Time to pack. We need to leave.
Now, you will have to bear with me because this is unfamiliar territory. I may occasionally pause for thought or talk through a decision out loud. I'm really trying to walk a fine line here between playing a proper Gith, but also not accidentally shutting us out from any significant content, so, you know, we'll see how that goes.
Close. Far, far too close.
Let's check for healer, then move on. Whatever else is happening here isn't our concern.
Of course. Our needs have to come first.
Lead on.
Interesting to see that Gale still reacts to our dialogue options, even though he's not in our current active party. Not sure if I like that.
Forgive that display. Aradin's a blowhard, but that's no cause for me to join him. Thank you for your help out there. I'm Zevlor.
And I am Iluthin.
Well met. I should warn you, visitors are no longer welcome in this grove. Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve.
That is fine. I won't be staying long. I just need to find a healer.
Goblin got you. The druid Halsin's a renowned healer, but he didn't make it back from Aradin's expedition. If it's not too serious, you could try his apprentice Nettie. She's with the other druids in the Inner Grove. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters.
Oh boy. I don't want to be too nice, but I am worried that if we just shut him down, we'll end up missing out on what is likely to be a fairly prominent quest. We'll express some interest. This ritual, is there no way to convince the druids to stop it?
I've tried. Korga, their new first druid, won't even see me. You, though? I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her, for more time to prepare, if nothing else.
Okay, I think we can work with this. We're here looking for a healer, which would be the druids, and he is asking us to speak with the druids, which just happens to coincide with our current goal. Plus, he's offering a reward, so that would be of immediate benefit to us. Though, obviously, we aren't going to make any promises. And what exactly are you offering me for my aid?
We'd owe you a great debt. What little we have, we'll scrape together. It isn't coin we need, it's time.
Very well. I will see what I can do.
Really? We're messengers now.
We'd owe you a great debt. If we're forced to leave now, we won't make it to the city. You'll find the druids at the heart of the grove. Please, make them see sense before more lives are lost.
All right, I am reasonably happy with how that went. Though I sincerely doubt this is all going to resolve in a way that Zevlor is completely happy with. We'll just play it by ear, stick with the Gith-specific responses when possible, and see where that takes us. As an aside, I will say, those Gith responses are slowly making it easier for me to kind of get into that whole Gith-Yankee headspace. Squirrel.
Arron's back with his tail between his legs. I'm glad for your help, but I'd hoped you were Halsin.
It seems a lot of people are looking for that druid.
By all rights, he was a good man. I saw enough of him to agree. And I'm tired of good people dying. That's for sure.
It sounds like Halsin is also the main healer we're looking for, so that coincides nicely with what Zevlor wants from us.
Cannon?
I'm sure recovering Halsin will give us some leverage with the druids.
No! Get up, Cannon! He's not breathing! Go find a healer!
Do not embarrass yourself. He is gone.
No!
You need to avenge this. Spill some goblin blood.
They'll slaughter us if we leave. There's nothing we can do.
They're slaughtering us now! Someone's going to pay for this.
Arca, no! Wait! What are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm sure that will, end well. I'd actually kind of like to try talking to that corpse, but I'm worried if we interact with it, they'll react negatively.
Glad you made it inside. Doubt we'll be safe here for long, though. There'll be more coming. Goblins hunt in packs.
If a few goblins scare you, you don't deserve to survive.
A few goblins? Felt like a lot more to me. So yes, I'm scared. And I'm not ashamed of that.
fair enough. Let's see if we can track down that squirrel. I must speak with it. Ah, a bunch of containers to plunder. I don't think Iluthin is the sort who would just randomly steal from living people. I mean, corpses, sure, they're dead, even if he made them that way, but, we'll just have him admire the view for a moment, because Astarion is absolutely the sort of person who would steal from people. Squirrel! Stop right there, criminal scum! Oh, right. Let's, dispose of the more incriminating evidence first. I would not put it past the devs to, account for NPCs potentially recognizing a stolen item in your inventory. I feel slightly bad about that, but hey, what am I going to do? You just can't control someone like Astarion. What a jerk. I think we're pretty much done here. But I suppose as long as we're being scumbags, we might as well go all the way. We'll go rummage through that corpse's pockets, too. Ooh, that's our first longbow. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hey, Astarion, welcome back. I trust you were morally upright and law-abiding whilst we were enjoying the view. Yes, of course. Also, I picked up this new longbow somewhere. Quite a stroke of luck. So that gets us a 1 die type bump in damage. No difference in range, though. I mean, on the one hand, I guess that's not really surprising, because they do often abstract that sort of thing when it comes to cRPGs like this one. I did notice it's listed as a heavy weapon, though. I'm not sure if that'll have any negative effect on our rogue abilities. I'll have to look into that. Alright, Squirrel.
Get out!
Oh, sorry?
The squirrel lunges at your foot and bites it.
What sort of creature are you?
The sort that's in charge around here. See, you're in my territory, and I want you gone.
I am not to be trifled with, creature.
You don't scare me. I've got bears on my side. Now get moving. I'm tired of looking at you.
You know what? I have got to admire that confidence. And this is some sort of druid conclave, so he might be telling the truth. He might actually have bears backing him up. You win this round, squirrel. I love the idea of Lae'zel just standing there, trying to figure out what the heck just happened. Hey, that's the gal from the cutscene earlier. Also, she's about to be murdered. I probably should have led with that. Let's get up there. Well, after we take some basic precautions, anyway. Shoot. Yep, I guess he saw us coming. Alright. Let's see if we can keep him off that random tiefling. I guess we do actually have surprise on our side. Well, so much for that. It was kind of a long shot anyway. Let's see if we can block his path instead. I mean, I'm assuming he won't go after the random civvy, but who knows. I will say, that would have been a fantastic time to have Repelling Blast. Flee, you fool! Thank you. Ah, perfect. Nice.
You have good timing. Never been much of a fighter, so wrestling a bugbear would have gone poorly. But you're not here for heroics, are you? Avernus's stench is all over your skin. Let me guess. Your devil mistress sent you to get her soul coin back. But too bad. I earned it, fair and square.
Oh, I guess she is talking to Shadowheart for some reason. And it looks like we can't back out of the conversation, so, man, how would Shadow respond to this? That bugbear would have crushed your skull. This is the thanks I get?
Why, thank you, dread slayer of bugbears. You shall live forever in my memory. Now take my regards back to that pouting Irenes and leave me alone.
I promise I'm not working for that devil. I do serve a goddess of darkness, though.
Then our interests barely intersect. I'm sure there are other bugbears to kill. Best of luck finding them.
And then Shadow smashed her head in with a mace. Also, it appears Iluthin continued dying of that poison the entire time that conversation was taking place. So, you know, Cool.
Take you.
Actually, let's hold off on that. Might as well push forward a bit further before we hit the camp button again. Oh, and look at that. We actually hit level 3. I was not expecting that. I'm going to have to give that some thought. Alright, well, I was not expecting to hit level 3 already, especially since the current level cap is 4. So I don't have any plans in place for this. Let's hit the pause button real quick. I'll familiarize myself with our options, and we'll be right back. And we are back. It's been about an hour. I have done some general research on both our options in the 5th edition rulebook, as well as the way that they're implemented in the current build, because as always, this is an early access build, so we've got a lot of options that are either limited in their implementation or simply aren't implemented at all. That said, I will walk you through my thought process. First up, we've got Iluthin, and he picks up some new hit points as well as improved spell slots. He's still limited to just 2 slots, but he can now apparently learn level 2 and improved level 1 spells. Of more prominent note, this would normally be where we'd be choosing our Pact boon, which is one of the major defining features for the Warlock class. Unfortunately, as you can see here, we really don't have a choice at the moment. The only pact they've actually implemented in the current build is Pact of the Chain, which is a shame. Obviously, Iluthin is built with Pact of the Blade in mind, and they are planning on implementing that. We just don't know exactly when that's going to be available. That said, even Pact of the Chain is obviously working off of some placeholders at the moment, because while you can summon a familiar, it requires an active concentration check to maintain it. The moment your character's concentration wavers or you start focusing on a different spell, your familiar will be desummoned. But that is somewhat offset by the fact that, apparently, in the current build, certain familiars are much more powerful than they're supposed to be. So I guess that balances out. After that, we also have to select our new spell, and as I mentioned before, because we are now level 3, we actually have access to a variety of new spells to choose from. And right off the bat, I am immediately drawn to Detect Thoughts. That's the sort of spell that, much like Speak with the Dead or Speak with Animals, is conducive to the sort of hidden content I find very appealing. A lot of people don't remember it, but way back in the original Baldur's Gate, the original Baldur's Gate, before the engine upgrade, you could actually charm enemies, and in many cases, it would unlock special dialogue and lore you could not access any other way. I always found that concept really appealing. I appreciated the effort on the part of the developers to insert these intriguing interactions that many players would just never see. That said, after doing some general research, it does appear that Detect Thoughts is not fully implemented just yet. There are apparently a few conversations where it can be useful, but you basically need to know about them in advance, because the spell has an extremely short duration. With that in mind, I think we're going to reluctantly skip it for now, and focus on some more tactically viable options. In this case, Mirror Image and Misty Step. In the case of Mirror Image, it's a solid defensive spell, and while we don't have the dexterity to fully leverage it, it is basically 3 points of ablative armor every time one of those duplicates goes out. It's a hit that Iluthin is not taking. As for Misty Step, that one has obvious tactical value, as well as potential exploration value. So again, I think that's a pretty obvious no-brainer. Though, we do need to drop a spell if we want to pick up a second level spell. So I think that's going to be Hex, which we have gotten literally no use out of. Just as well, honestly, because we are going to need that concentration check to maintain our new familiar. Final note, as a Gith, we also gain the jump ability once per day, which I believe triples our jumping distance for 60 seconds, which again is a fantastic exploration tool. I don't think it's intentional, but you can actually use that ability on other party members. So between Iluthin and Lae'zel, we will actually have access to the jump spell twice per day. And speaking of Lae'zel, she gains additional hit points plus the jump racial ability we just talked about, as well as her first subclass. And in this case, we have two options to choose from, Battlemaster or Eldritch Knight. And between the two, Battlemaster is definitely more appealing. It is essentially the martial equivalent of a warlock, as opposed to the Eldritch Knight, which is a much more conventional blend of fighter and wizard, which unfortunately in her case isn't great because she does not have the best intelligence. No offense, Lae'zel. Now, in theory, that is something we could actually work around. There are a variety of spells that do not require intelligence for accuracy or damage. Firebolt, for example, could still be used to ignite objects remotely, or Light. Light could be used to help her see in the dark. Obviously, something we could benefit from. It does get a bit trickier, though, once you start moving into your higher level spell slots. Spells like Magic Missile might be useful, but we have very limited options for anything else. So I think in this particular case, we're better off just leaning into what she's obviously intended to be, which is a Battlemaster. Which means we have to choose 3 of our 4 available Battlemaster abilities. First, we've got Menacing and Pushing Attack, which I think are fairly self-explanatory. Spend a superiority die, gain a bit of bonus damage on your attack, and then either frighten or push your target respectively. Then we have Rally, which is pretty intriguing because it essentially transforms her into a battle healer. By burning off a superiority die, she can instantly heal a nearby ally for a flat 8 hit points, which theoretically makes her superior to Shadowheart, who is still at the mercy of a die roll. And then we have Riposte, which is another fairly intriguing one. In this case, it is essentially the martial equivalent of Hellish Rebuke. If an enemy attacks her but misses, then she can immediately spend 1 superiority die to make a retaliatory strike, which, based on what I'm seeing here, will inflict fairly significant damage. With all that in mind, I think we're definitely taking Rally and Riposte, so it really just comes down to choosing either Menacing or Pushing Attack. And while I could see both being useful, I think we're going to have to go with Pushing Attack, because between frightening people and pushing them, pushing just has more tactical versatility. Of course, as usual, feel free to share your feedback in the comments below. I have created a hard save in case I want to change anything. Then we've got Shadowheart, and much like in previous editions, leveling up a cleric is largely a hands-off experience. She gains more hit points, she gains more spell slots, she gains a variety of new spells and domain abilities, but there are no actual choices that we have to make here. About the only thing we do have to do is go update her current prepared spells. Although we do have access to a variety of new spells, we can only actually prepare 6 of them at a time. And it's also important to note here that clerics actually use tiered spell slots, as opposed to simply replacing their basic spell slots with improved spell slots like warlocks do. It is worth noting that any first level spell we prepare can also be cast using a second level spell slot, which will grant it enhanced effects, usually more damage or more healing, though there are cases where I'm not entirely clear what the benefits would be. Anyway, we're going to keep it pretty basic here. We're going to grab Cure Wounds and Healing Word, as well as Guiding Bolt and Shield of Faith. Then we're going to spend our last 2 preparation slots on a couple of second level spells. And while we do have some very intriguing options here, I think the most obvious first choice is going to be Prayer of Healing, which is our first mass heal spell. It is important to note, however, that that spell cannot be used during actual combat, so it is strictly for post-battle recovery. For a second slot, I'm thinking we'll go with Aid, and I'm not 100% certain on this, but if I am reading this correctly, it should stack with temporary hit points, because instead of granting temporary hit points, it actually buffs a character's maximum hit points, which means that in theory, if they lose those, they would then be able to recover them using conventional healing spells or short rest, at least until you have exceeded the 8-hour duration on the spell. If that is the way it works, then it seems like a pretty solid choice, especially since, again, it does not require concentration to maintain. And that finally brings us to Asterion, who thankfully is a much more straightforward level up for us. And similar to Lae'zel, he is not at all suited to become an arcane cross-class. I've got to say, based on the way he comports himself, I did not picture Asterion as only having 9 intelligence. It is more than a little surprising, but it does make this a very easy decision. That said, we will keep things simple and stick with Thief instead. That grants us Fast Hands, which nets us an extra bonus action, and that alone is pretty fantastic. But it also gets us Second Story Work, which simply grants resistance to falling damage. I'm honestly not sure how useful that will be. We have not fallen off of anything just yet, but it certainly can't hurt. Alright, I have been talking non-stop for the past 10 minutes. Let's hit the pause button real quick so I can grab some water, and then we will resume our adventures. Okay, let us proceed. We'll start by having another chat with Nadira here.
You have good timing. Never been much of a fighter, so wrestling a bugbear would have gone poorly. But you're not here for heroics, are you? Avernus's stench is all over your skin. Let me guess. Your devil mistress sent you to get her soul coin back. Too bad. I earned it, fair and square.
Huh. Okay. I don't think she was supposed to repeat herself like that, but I imagine it was an unintended side effect of her initial dialogue triggering on Shadowheart, rather than Iluthin, who is of course our main. Still, I'm not going to complain. It does give us another chance to make a slightly better impression on her. So, let's see here. I've been to Avernus, but I'm no devil's servant. I serve a lich.
Care to explain why you reek of the hells?
Certainly. A mind flayer abducted me, and its ship went straight to Avernus. As tends to happen. I really didn't think that story would fly.
Well, that's quite the story. And I thought I was doomed. Now I feel sorry for you. Here. Take this. It's worth a fortune. But a fortune's not worth much if you're dead. Consider it payment for saving my life.
A soul coin, true to its name, holds a mortal soul inside. It serves in the 9 hells as very valuable currency.
Cool. So we are now collecting souls. Just like the Lich Queen. Soul Coin. Strange, incomprehensible whispers emanate from this coin, pervading your mind with rage and despair. Delightful. I do look forward to finding out what kind of merchant would actually accept this thing. You've also got some fairly conspicuous ledges here. Let's check that out. You know, maybe it's just intended to explain how the Bugbear assassin got up there. Oh, hold on. We can actually take it all the way down to the bottom. I guess I didn't notice that because the tree must have been blocking my line of sight. Interesting. You know, if we had noticed that, we could have theoretically caught the Bugbear at much closer range. So in theory, the fight would have been a lot easier. Just goes to show, you really have to pay attention to your surroundings in this game. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here. This looks to be some sort of lift, maybe? With a bear on it?
Not now. Please.
Okay, sorry. Rika. That's not the gal who was standing near Cannon, was it? No, I think that was a different person. Okay, that's where we came in. This is where we chatted with Zevlor. So I guess we're headed this way. Oh yeah, that looks promising. Hopefully we can track down a merchant or two.
You're going to get us killed.
Don't mind me, I'm just going to go through all your stuff here. If you didn't want me to take it, you would have marked it in red.
Refugees, adventurers, no one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met, and thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long.
Hey, a merchant. Nice. Are you really locking down the grove?
I know it's drastic, but more monsters seem to terrorize this region every day.
What about the people here?
We druids will be safe. As for those that took refuge here, well, may Sylvanas guard them as they continue their travels.
Dire times. High stakes. I understand.
You sound just like Korga. But it had to come to this. I pray to Sylvanas each night. The Wildfather will protect those refugees. I hope.
Sure. What are you selling?
Just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
Huh, that's a pretty eclectic mix. Lots of potions and consumables. Ooh, though, these prices are a bit on the high side. I do know there's no barter skill, but prices are influenced by your charisma, I think to the tune of about 2% per point. Rain Dancer. Magic thrums within this staff of twisting white birch. Grants Create Water. Dragon's Grasp. Ember veins snake through this hand axe's elaborate engravings. Unfettered Fire applies burning on head. Interesting. Though, I think that is actually still weaker than a normal torch, which does 2d4 base damage, plus the chance to light targets on fire. Also, I don't think the axe would count as a light source. Leather armor +1. Not terribly exciting, but certainly useful. That's actually not too badly priced. And the Amulet of Elemental Torment. Each jewel gleams with the energy of the natural elements. Nature's Vengeance. When the wearer stands in certain surfaces, such as fire, and deals damage, the target also suffers the surface's effects. Not really crazy about that one. I could definitely see it being useful if you were resistant or immune to that type of surface and you could create it on demand, but otherwise I don't think that would be worth the expense. Anyway, I think we'll hold off for now.
Sylvanus, guide your path.
I do actually want to dump all our vendor trash, but I'll take care of that off screen.
This grove is kept by Sylvanus's faithful.
We don't even know these people!
That doesn't matter.
Of course it does! You would choose strangers over us?
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blazing spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay. These people aren't fighters. We can help.
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
If they cannot fight, they will die. That is as it should be.
Exactly. These types always need saving. We shouldn't sacrifice ourselves for them.
Fine. Let's sneak away like God's damned cowards. But if something happens to these people, it's on us. I hope you know that.
Now, I imagine if we had convinced them to stay, that would have given us more warm bodies for the inevitable final confrontation you know is coming to this location. But, you know, Gith's got a Gith. I'm sure things will work out one way or another. "1 foot, 2 feet. Well met, we'll meet." A popular book of halflings' children's rhymes and mnemonics, compiled and archived by one Euphedora Greatquill. I'm not seeing anything immediately relevant here, but that is still fun. Essentially the equivalent of a Faerun Dr. Seuss.
Hope the goblins aren't smart enough to poison their blades.
We've known enough grief this 10-day traveler. Don't be the cause of more.
Yeah, I can't promise that. Recruitment poster. Printed on high-quality parchment, this poster encourages people to join the Flaming Fist in Baldur's Gate. A man and woman stand side by side in armor, emblazoned with a red fist surrounded by flames. Find pride and purpose in the Flaming Fist. Join today and protect Baldur's Gate. Led by Grand Duke Ulder Ravengard himself, you'll be tasked with guarding the city streets, protecting its people, and upholding the laws that govern us. Speak to any of your friendly fists throughout the city, or visit our headquarters at the Sea Tower of Balduron to find out how you can blaze a new career path. Today! Would you like to know more? Awful lot of empty backpacks around here. Okay, we are basically out of time, so we'll hold off on the ominous door for now. But that guy is clearly a blacksmith, so we do want to talk to him. Oh, hey, and that's the trio of adventurers we saved at the front gate. I guess we can talk with them, too.
Damn goblins. ... Like the sight of blood, do you? Thought you'd have had your fill at the gate. Might be more blood spilled yet, if Zevlor starts in on the lectures again.
Maybe saving you guys wasn't the best idea. He let you in, didn't he? It could have been worse.
Oh, very gracious of you. We expected a soft job. Something to test the new lad, maybe, but not a bloody goblin nest. Most would have turned tail at the sight, but not Liam, no. He charged him, the stupid bastard.
I'm guessing that didn't end well.
Nah. He must have thought we were following. Always the optimist was Liam. Hope they cut him down quick before he saw we were gone.
Oh, so you didn't actually see him die.
Wound looks clean. Small mercies.
That pretty much guarantees we will run into him out there.
If it ain't the fearless Goblin Slayer, you sure you want to be seen with me? I ain't exactly popular with this lot.
Yeah, well, I'm an interdimensional monster, so what are you gonna do? All you did was stand up for your crew. I respect that.
Half my crew are full of holes. Now I'm gonna take the blame for leading the goblins here, and losing track of the bloody druid.
Where did the goblins come from?
They chased us, all the way from the ruins we were poking around in.
And is that where you lost track of the druid you mentioned?
Aye. His name's Halsin. And if he's still alive, he'll be cursing the day he laid eyes on me. We've got a contract to track down some relic, and he wanted in on the job. Eyes lit up when he heard about it.
Didn't work out, though. Goblins got him when we were turning tail. He's either digging latrines or boiling in a cookpot by now.
I don't suppose I could have a look at that contract. It intrigues me.
Job's all yours, if you got a death wish.
There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic, supposedly buried round these parts.
But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it.
Do you have any idea what the relic actually is?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be back here, with half my crew gone. But look, if you're itching to meet Kellenvor, I won't stop you. It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you the map and wish you a happy funeral, but my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own Todger. Goblins made sure to the fat old chunk.
All I've got's the contract. It'll show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying.
Well, maybe I do. Thanks.
Don't thank me. I'll be well on my way to Baldur's Gate when you die.
Stamped handbill. A tattered, well-handled bill posted to recruit adventurers. A scuffed handbill, stamped with an extravagant seal, boldly proclaims, "Adventurers wanted for perilous and profitable quest. Master Loroken, the arcanist of Athkatla, the recluse of Ramazeth's Tower, seeks brave and enterprising individuals to delve treacherous temples and recover storied artifact, the Night Song, for preservation in Baldur's Gate. Only stout of heart and keen of mind need apply. Fame, glory, and incredible fortune assured." I like how they give no particular details and promise no specific reward. Clearly not warning signs to any veteran adventurer.
Good to be back behind the walls, have to say. For as long as that lasts.
Cool. Thanks for your contribution. Come to think of it, I suppose both he and the archer are entirely expendable characters. It's really just the main guy that you would need to keep alive to obtain that quest. Though I do suppose their presence here will be useful, depending on how things play out.
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel.
That forge is holding on by a thread. Are you a smith?
The best. People came from as far as Neverwinter to buy my swords. Funny how things change when your bloodline becomes a problem. Guess I'll be starting over in Baldur's Gate. I hope people are more open-minded there.
That is unlikely. Allow me to browse your wares. Ooh, now that is a bit more like it. Blooded Great Axe. Plus 1d6 damage when below half health. Hand axe plus 1. Light crossbow plus 1. Light hammer. Quarterstaff. A lot of potentially useful, if somewhat uninteresting items here. I do like that they all have unique descriptions, though. I also like that they have different visual appearances for a lot of these armor sets. That can help differentiate your characters even if they're technically wearing the same gear. Ooh, +1 scale armor. Visually, that looks a lot like the gear that Zevlor was wearing. So that means he might actually be packing magic armor. That's good to know, just in case something were to happen to him. Okay, I definitely see a couple of items there I might end up grabbing, like the boots and gloves, but we're going to hold off on that for the moment. I am going to canvass the area and basically take anything that isn't nailed down, short of the items that we would have to steal in plain sight. And I'll take care of the actual trading off screen, because that is unfortunately going to require a lot of inventory juggling. In order to get the best prices, we'll have to make sure that it is either Iluthin or Shadowheart doing all the bartering. That said, we will hit the pause button for now. I will take care of the looting and trading off screen, including backtracking to the ruins and the beach, just to make sure I grab all of those crates and barrels and stuff. And we will pick up here next time, as we resume harassing the locals, and being absolutely no help whatsoever in trying to resolve their problems. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Baldur's Gate 3, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. As always, links are in the description.
Now get moving. I'm tired of looking at you.